bad fuel gauges, oil leaks, and clogged fuel filters. This is gonna be an interesting one. Get your motorbike news in a pleasant way. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Welcome back everyone, lovely to see your smiling faces here again. So the KTM 790 Adventure and the R were officially launched in Morocco and everybody's having one hell of a good time. Now we've covered these bikes in great detail after their initial announcement, and I'm not gonna go in all the specs and details in this show, but you can familiarize yourself with them by clicking somewhere in a corner. Needless to say, these bikes are a great welcome to the mid-adventure segment. Sporting great electronics and rider aids built from the ground up to be very capable off-road and highly tamed on-road, they sure are gonna win a lot of people over. But in our last show, I told you that one of the reasons they are gonna do so well is the low price. Now the Adventure R, the more off-road capable one of the two, has a list price of $13,500, which is a lot of bike that you get for that kind of money. Funny enough, in Europe it's quite a bit more expensive, list price being 15,200 euros, which if you convert it is around $17,000. Quite a big difference in price, considering that for around 15,000 euros you could get yourself a Mini or a Nissan Juke or something. I don't even want to know what the price is for the Australian market, since everything down there is a lot more expensive. It's cheaper than in Europe. Okay, now also in our last video I also mentioned a small little tiny detail, and that was that from 2020 all KTM 790 Adventures will be assembled in China in a CF Moto factory, which KTM has partnered up with to bring these bikes to life. Obviously for a cheaper price. Now I had no idea this was such a deal breaker to a lot of you, since if I look around in my house, most of the stuff is made from China, and there are a lot of bikes out there that are either assembled in China or most of their parts come from Chinese manufacturers, or both. Honda, Suzuki, BMW and even Harley Davidson are no strangers to these practices. Now this brings up two problems. If you are a wise man, you will not be an early adopter and will wait 1 year for KTM to iron out all the kinks on the new bike before throwing in the towel and purchasing one. But in this case, by the time this is done, the assembly will have been moved from Austria to China, which will come along with new quality control issues for which you will have to wait another year to get ironed out. So 2021 should be a great year for the KTM 790 Adventure. That's if you're a wise man. Now, if you're not, and you really want this bike so bad, you will have to put up with problems like these. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, issues have started to roll in. The bikes have just been delivered to their loving new homes, and we already have reports of oil leaks, clogged fuel filters, and fuel gauges that like to play pranks on you. This poor soul went for his first ride after getting his brand new bike, and getting home he realized the oil was on the outside instead of being on the inside of the engine. Now this could be anything from an engine that has been overfilled with oil, hard to believe, to a bad head gasket. None of the less, it will definitely ruin your day if this was your brand new bike. Now a dealer should fix this with no hassle for the customer, but it still should not have happened in the first place. If this is a quality control issue, then it really puts to rest the debate that the 790s built in Austria will be somehow superior to the 790s built in China. Next up we have what seems like a different oil leak. This rider wasn't very fazed about it, and the dealer replaced an O-ring to fix the issue, which apparently is common to the Duke 790 as well. It's just an O-ring, but these problems really look bad in the eyes of any customer that wants to spend any amount of money on a new bike. Next up we have a do not sell recall sent to the dealers informing them of an issue with clogged fuel filters. This has been confirmed by several customers being contacted by KTM dealers to return the bikes in order to sort out the fuel filters. Seems like this is an old issue which has been reported on the 1190s as well, and has to do with the curing process inside the tank actually clogging the fuel filter with gunk. Another easy fix, but irritating none of the less. And last we have the fuel gauge that shows almost empty just to mess with your head. There isn't a lot of info on this yet, but it seems to be a very persistent issue. A software update from the dealer should fix it, so no real big headaches here. Let us know in the comments if you've encountered any issues with your 790 Adventure, and we'll post them here. Now, Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not saying that this is a horrible bike that will break down whenever you look at it. These seem to be normal problems through the industry that get fixed as time goes by, so to you, the customer, they should just be an inconvenience, nothing more. All that we're doing here is reporting on them so that they are known throughout the community and that anyone that is interested in the bike is better informed. So what's your take on the 790 Adventure? Do you own one? And if you do, what are your impressions? Are you planning on getting one, or are you going to wait another year or so? Let us know. Well, that's the show, everybody. Give it a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and consider subscribing if you think you've learned something new. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.